you, thank you. All right, very well. We're gonna start. I want to welcome you all for the Wareham Zoning Board of Appeal for tonight's meeting. It is Wednesday, October 25, 2023. It is 6:30 p.m. and we are at the Multi-Service Center at Wareham, Mass, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. I'm gonna call the meeting to order. Also, Zoom is open. I'll make a roll call. My far left, Mr. Richard Semple, our associate member to my right, far right, Mr. Troy Larson, our clerk, Mr. Jim Akabachi, myself, the chair, Nazi Al-Khalasi, and we also have present our commissioner, Mr. Paul Turner, building commissioner, and as well as assistant town planner, department assistant, Ms. Sonia Raposo. Okay.
So, do we have anybody on Zoom? Do we have?
We have 4 people. This is how it works. If you have a public, continued public hearing, it has to be the same people that was here last time. If you had a public hearing last time was Ms. Debonese, she'll be coming in 40 minutes. She's late, she has something, family thing to attend, so she'll be back. So apparently, the meeting can go on with 3 members because I can't be on it because I wasn't here at the opening. Any other hearings, we have 4 members, that's enough to open the public hearing. It's up to you to accept to go on with 4 members. You have the right to be heard with 5 members because if you have a special permit or a variance, you're gonna need 4 out of 5 or 4 out of 4. So you have to have all the 4 of us say 4. So all what you have to say, you'd like to be heard with 5 people, and we'll continue it until next time, but we cannot discuss it at all because if we discuss it, next hearing, when you come back, the other person can't hear it. That's what you call the Mullen rule. But I gotta check on this because our clerk saying we can. I'll look at it in a minute. But let's get some things out of the way on the minutes for 10/11/23.
Okay, I did review the minutes. There was one edit that I made by hand and initialed it. Other than that, I find them fine as presented, and I make a motion to approve as presented.
Okay, on the minutes for 10/11/23, we have a motion to accept by Jim. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Sample. All in favor say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Richard?
Aye.
And myself, Nazi, aye. Minutes are good. We're gonna go to 14 over Jordan Road, 49-21, TJP Realty LLC. So we have a letter from Attorney Morton to continue the matter. Is anyone here for that matter? Okay, no one's here. So we have a motion. We have a request to continue this till when? Do you know?
November, the next hearing, November
8. Okay.
Sounds right.
Jim had the email.
Okay. Any wishes from the board? Would you like to continue?
I'd continue. I think when we do these continuances, especially when it's a request of the applicant, I think that we should continue and automatically extend the time for the board's decision deadline.
We can. They have to grant it to us. The applicant have to grant it to us.
Well, it's preliminary. It's not-
Okay. Yeah. So she wants to see if it's
She just
substantial
wants, she just
modification.
wants to, okay.
But in the other note, we need the applicant to give us the extension. So that's fine, we'll continue this. We have a motion to continue when, Jim? For 8 November?
November 8th.
Do you have a second on that?
Second.
Second by Mr. Sample. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
Myself, Nazi, aye. So 49. 1 second, please. All right, what's the date? to 11, 8. 0. Okay, continue, on the continued public hearing, that's what the Mullen Rule comes in, and let me look if I have it in my book. I doubt very much, I know Jim was saying that I can, I don't think I can.
The only continued ones we have here this evening are both requests to be withdrawn without prejudice. Anything else that's on here is a public hearing that hasn't been read in.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I didn't,
Ah, both of them?
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to.
Oh, that's an easy
So
one.
it's-
I was trying to see which one you couldn't be on, but
Ah,
We can arm wrestle over what's
Yeah.
legal and not legal.
ah, okay, so that's good. Good. Very well. So let's go 34-23, Todd and Maria Delgado for 3 Michael Drive. What was that, Michael Drive, anyway? Was that the one on the water with the 2 houses? Yeah. Yeah, I know, I listened to it and I read it. Okay, so, and they're requesting to withdraw. Okay, very well.
What was that, Michael?
The one that conservation was
Michael
also
Drive.
off, that had already been approved by conservation, but they were looking to, there was no.
Oh, they were looking to move the house and,
No, there was no dwelling.
no dwelling. Okay, oh, the one with the little, yeah, okay, yeah.
They want to do a dock, right?
They wanted to do a dock without a house.
Yeah, I was here anyway for that.
They've requested to withdraw, but they want to make sure it's without prejudice.
Okay. Okay, can we have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion to withdraw without prejudice for 34-23 for Todd and Maria Delgado for a use variance for 3 Michael Drive. Do I have a second?
Second?
Second by Troy. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Rich?
I,
And myself, Nazir, aye. So that's withdrawn. Okay, again, on 41-23, Dorothy Piper. Special permit and a variance for Cameron Street.
And
Oh.
that's Cameron Street, that's the one over in the mound,
that's the
right?
one you suggested to attach the garage
Oh,
to
yeah,
it?
yeah,
And
yeah.
and they said they wanted to withdraw also,
just-
right?
They're withdrawn without prejudice, so they're...
Which one is the guy? Which one?
They had,
They wanted to make
there
an
was
apartment up above it,
10
right?
reasons why we should say no and no reasons why we should say yes.
Okay,
So we expressed that there was ways that if they presented it different, maybe, but the way they were presenting it, and they've elected to withdraw and go back to the drawing board, and
okay. All right, so,
I
we got a
move to
motion?
accept their request to withdraw without prejudice.
okay, on 41-23, we have a motion by Mr. Akabachi to withdraw without prejudice. Do I have a second?
Second?
Second by Troy. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Withdrawn. 5, 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, 42-23, Mr. David Barry, variance for 3138 Cranberry Highway. Is Mr. Barry here? Yes? Hi. Good, how are you? Have a seat, please. You gotta give us a minute, just a minute to read the notice and for public.
Sorry, I should have had it out already.
That's all right, thank you. Okay.
This is really a pretty simple one. I'm not gonna hand anything out unless we really feel
Okay.
like we need it.
All right,
That's
let's hear
my
it.
opinion, it's simple. You guys could maybe complicate it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. The zoning board of appeals will hold a public hearing on October 25th, 2023, at 6:30 PM in room 320 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571, to consider petition number 42-23 for a variance from the requirements of Article 11, Section 1128 and 1172 under the Wareham zoning bylaws to David Barry of 48 Highland Circle, Halifax, Mass. seeking to replace the faces of the existing double-sided pylon sign located at 3138 Cranberry Highway, Wareham, Mass. That appears on Assessors Map 7A, 1, Lot A, in the CS zoning district.
Okay, very well. Mr. Barry?
How are
Good
you?
evening, good.
Good evening.
Like I said before, we 4 people, you have the right to be heard with 5, or you could go forward.
No, I'll go forward.
Okay, let us know what are you here, what are you doing?
Yeah, so the existing sign that was once known as Lindsay's Restaurant, I believe it was constructed, I think, in the early 90s.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to take the existing Lindsay's face sign and just taking the Lexan faces off and replacing it with our restaurant logo.
Okay, same kind of lights, or is that a name?
Not touching anything that's existing inside. It's literally just the plastic faces coming off and the our logo, Lexan faces going on.
All right. Troy, you okay with this?
I am.
Rich, Jim?
Yeah.
Fine.
Are we here because bylaws require you to come and ask us to bless your sign? or-
I was denied my,
okay,
I was
so we have-
denied.
What was the reason for the denial, if I might ask?
Size.
Size, okay, so it's pre-existing, and so we need a variance to keep the same size for size, okay.
Okay, very well. Rich, you okay with this?
I'm fine, I'm good with it.
All right, anyone in public in favor of this matter? I hear none against of this matter. Anyone on Zoom in favor or against? I hear none.
I make a motion to close the public portion of this hearing.
Before we close, you need anything to say?
No.
Okay, do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
Second by Rich, all in favor say aye. Troy? He's aye. Jim?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Closed.
I make a motion to grant the variance as requested. He's replacing panel for panel, size for size.
Okay, we have a motion to grant by Mr. Akabachi to grant the variance and saying it meets the requirement of a variance, statutory requirement, MGL 48, Section 10. Do I have a second on that?
Second.
Second by Troy. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
And myself, aye. It carries. Thank you.
Good
Thank
luck,
you,
thank you
folks.
for coming in.
Thank you very much.
20 days for appeal, then you get your permit. You need
Say that
20.
again, I'm sorry.
You need 20 days for appeal period, then you go to clerk, get it stamped, then you could get your permit.
Okay, great.
I mean, you gotta go to commissioner and get a permit.
Great.
Thank you, you
very
have a
much for
good
your
night.
time, folks.
All right, 42-23, Stephen and Diane McDonald, special permit or a variance for 24 Highland Drive. Let me call Veronica, say don't rush.
Where's it, oh, you wanna tell her you don't need to be here? While you're making that, can I read while you're,
Sure, please.
and this is, 4323, 4323.
Bless you. Can you let me tell so she doesn't
The
have...
zoning board of appeals will hold a public hearing on October 25th, 2023 at 6:30 PM in room 320 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571, to consider petition number 43-23 for a special permit and/or a variance from the requirements of Article 6, Table 628, and Article 13, Section 1350 and 1352 and 1353, under the Wareham zoning bylaws to Stephen and Diane McDonald, care of GAF Engineering, 266 Main Street, Wareham, Mass., proposing to construct a new 10-foot by 30-foot deck, along with a 4-foot by 6-foot expansion of the porch, and separately removing a 10-foot by 10-foot existing deck and replacing it with a new 10-foot by 15-foot deck, along with a 10-foot by 8-foot staircase down to grade located at 24 Highland Bay Drive, Wareham, Mass. That appears on Assessors Map 58, lots W67-A, W68, and 101-A in the R30 zoning district.
Very well. Name and address for the record?
Mr. Chairman, Bob Rogers with GAF Engineering on behalf of the applicants.
Okay, I'd like to say your name,
Steve McDonough, 24 Highland Bay Drive.
ma'am.
Diane McDonough, 24 Highland Bay Drive.
Okay, that goes for you also, Mr. Roderick. You on for 4 people? Or you want,
You want 4 or 5?
Yes, we can proceed this evening.
Okay, very well. Let's hear it.
So the project, as you can see in the plans, we have a 2-view plan that we've submitted for their property. And so there is an existing wood deck, which is 10 by 10 on the south, at the south property line. So that's an existing wood deck, which we're proposing to make slightly larger, 10 by 15, and the stairs that go down to the waterfront, if you will. And then there's an existing concrete patio and concrete retaining wall along the north sideline of the property. And so what we would like to do is put a first floor wood deck. It's a walkout basement, would be under the deck, and would be a spiral staircase that would go from the wood deck down to the concrete patio. And there's, I guess, not really part of the special permit variance, but this is the same plan that we used to get approval from the Conservation Commission. So we're showing a cement concrete wall and pad for a condenser. But we're here this evening to seek relief, and we hope, or we would suggest in the form of a special permit, to allow the replacement and slight expansion of the existing deck and the placement of the new deck. It's a simple non-conformance with side and in the case of the south side, the rear property line. We've submitted a couple of architectural plans, plan view. That's the new deck in the area of the existing one. This is the proposed new deck over the concrete patio, and we have an elevation view. The new deck that's proposed on the north side of the property line, there's no abutting properties. There's a paper street and town-owned land. There's no one that we could impact with that new work. Excuse me.
Can I interrupt you for a minute?
Yes, you may.
I usually know where everything is just by memory, but where's Highland Bay Drive?
So Highland Bay Drive, it's sort of, say, behind the, right, it's behind the Gateway Restaurant and Tavern.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If you went
All right,
straight back to
all
the
right,
river.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
off of Hawthorne, 4th Street and Hawthorne.
I'm showing my age. I had brain fog.
That's okay.
I think it runs from First Ave.
No, I know exactly where it is now. I just,
So,
like a bad battery, sometimes you gotta put the jumper cables on it,
it's okay. So then, as you may know, all of these lots in this old neighborhood are undersized, and many of them have structures that are right up to the property lines. And so I had submitted a separate letter, basically stating the reasons why we thought that this could be considered under a special permit by this board. And I would just leave it to any questions that you may have for us.
Okay, very well. The commissioner talk about the variance for the new encroachment. Which one? Is it the pad?
So I think because of the expansion of the existing nonconformity with the setback, that's one thing. And then it's a new, there's a small corner of the deck that we're requesting that would extend out beyond the existing concrete patio and wall. The majority of it is closer to the dwelling than the wall, but that's a new deck and stairs that we're requesting that doesn't meet the setbacks.
Commissioner, but in this matter, if we give them relief, it could be special permit, right? Because of an existing non-conforming?
On the north side, though, there is no pre-existing nonconformities.
So one side, we need a variance.
That's the way I read it. And then on the south side, the new deck is continuing along on the same lines, but they're adding that set of steps, that wooden set of steps, which creates a new encroachment on the rear.
Oh, and no, okay, because the rear did confirm.
Yeah, so
All right.
they were
and-
fine on the side for a special permit, but as the steps went more towards the rear lot line, that's a variance.
And where is the deck you saying, on the north side? The big deck? And what was that step, how far that step, Mr. Broderick, how far was, is it Broderick?
So it's 4.5,
Yeah, right, but what was the step, how far was the step away, at 10.2, you were conforming? All right,
well, yeah, so the north side completely conforms with the rear setback, just not the side setback.
okay, all right.
So you
Okay.
need relief for one section, you need a variance for where? Can you point?
Well,
We need a variance
I
for
would
the
still
side
say
deck.
this is not more detrimental to the neighborhood at all, because we have an existing concrete retaining wall and patio, which we would consider a structure, and that's
Patio,
that's
it's not.
there existing.
No.
Patio is not a
But
structure.
that's okay. If-
That's fine. So he needs a variance for the deck, for the north side, and he needs the existing shed, he could extend to the south side setback if we decide it's a special permit and not detrimental. It could be extended. However, the back, it needs a variance and a relief from the rear setback. All right, very well. You guys got
We
it?
got it now.
You got it?
I got it.
Rich, you got it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Questions? Troy?
I don't have any questions.
Jimmy?
If I don't hear a neighbor here complaining, I don't have a problem.
Rich?
I'm fine.
Yes.
We'll
Yeah,
get to
just a
you.
minute, we'll get
We'll
into
get to
you.
you.
Yeah, Rich?
I'm good with it.
It looks good to me. I mean, like Jim said, it's a tough neighborhood. The lot is narrow, and I know they wanna enjoy the view, so there is some hardship for that. And the way the shape of the lot and the topo does create some hardship. Otherwise, they could put it, I guess, in the back, but also, or in the front, but it defeat the purpose. So the shape of the lot, I would say it's a hardship. All right, anyone in the public want to speak in favor this matter?
I'm Carol St. Pierre.
Come, yeah, you will, just come forward. Have a chair. Mr. Rodriguez, you could keep sitting, yeah. And state your name and address for record.
Carol St. Pierre, and I'm at 15 Third Ave, which is a house away from the people who are asking for this variance.
Yeah.
And I have absolutely no problem with anything they want to do.
Okay, very good. So you're in favor.
Yes, I am.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, anyone else in favor? Anyone on Zoom in favor?
I think the lady out in the,
Okay.
I thought she was waving to me.
But I get the sign in front of me, I can't see, sorry.
But you didn't wave back.
All right. Name and address, please, for record.
Donna Suzie, 15 Third Ave. I also live just 2 houses down, and I have absolutely no problem with
So
it.
you're in favor of that variance and the special permit? Okay, very well, thank you. Sorry, couldn't hear you because the plan in front of me. Okay, anyone else in favor? See, nobody's hiding. Anyone against? You want to come forward, sir? State your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Scott Schaefer. I live at 19 Highland Bay Drive. I'm diagonal from Steve and Diane.
You across the street, kinda?
That's correct,
Okay.
yeah. So the reasons I'm against it today are solely for the environment. This is a waterfront property. They have breathtaking views, there's no doubt about it. It's a corner lot as well, so they have views all around. They already have hundreds of square feet of outdoor space and footage.
Yep.
My concern from an environmental standpoint, that they are so close to the water, when they install the deck, and therefore it's gonna limit infiltration, it's gonna be increasing erosion and runoff. This is a very environmentally sensitive area. We have multiple endangered species that inhabit it. There's bald eagles, there's diamondback terrapins, there's seasonal residents as well, alcids and other type of migratory birds come to this river and stay on the very banks that they're about to build on. Article 6 is a variance from, I guess, the lot line, from my understanding.
Right.
So the further you encroach to it is, the more it's going to impact the coastal habitat. There's salt marshes several feet away, so that's why I'm against it ultimately. I just have concerns from an environmental standpoint that this is gonna degrade the river more than it already is, and in an increased environment where we're seeing extreme weather patterns, this is a flood zone, things like that. It's not gonna help the environment's case whatsoever.
Yeah, what's your name again?
Scott
So
Schaefer.
Scott, did you go to conservation?
No.
Yeah. Did you go to conservation yet?
We received an order of conditions almost a year ago.
Okay, were you called in for that meeting?
Not that I'm aware of, no, I was not.
It would have been a 100-foot notification
Right,
versus
right.
300, maybe.
If are you in Abara or not, to the Abara or more?
I'm sorry?
Are you Abara to the Abara or are you a third Abara?
I'm not sure what that
How
means.
far are you from, in feet, are you from their property?
I don't know.
But anyway, I'm sure the town has, they know the process. I'm sure they sent a letter. But if you're not a Abara to the Abara, you will have to look at the publication at town hall or the newspaper to come to conservation. Because I totally understand about the environment, what you're saying, but this is not our call. This is more a conservation matter.
Right.
We don't decide the encroachment on a wetland. We see it as a zoning matter. Wetland and conservation, trees and birds, that's not our jurisdiction. So they could even if we say you can't build and they say they don't have a problem, it's fine, it's vice versa also. You know what I'm saying? So it's not our call for the environment.
Yeah, this
You
is
know
the
what I'm
only notice I got, so that's why I
Right.
came.
You must have been getting it, you must have got it before, never received it in the mail, never picked it up, because it's a certified letter you have to sign. Maybe the mail person knocked on the door, you went home. But I'm sure the town did send it.
Okay, yeah, I never received a letter regarding this, because I would have read it and probably felt the same way.
Right, so what you could do, you could go to town and check on that hearing when it was sent, and maybe it's too late to appeal the decision, but you could always appeal a permit or something, so, but that's something you have to get a lawyer and follow up with.
I'm not interested in,
Yeah.
appealing anybody's decisions. I wholeheartedly agree it is their property and their right, but I also need to speak my piece and make sure.
Yeah, and we understand, we
you're
appreciate it.
aware. Yeah, there's
We do
environmental
appreciate it,
concerns, so-
but like I said, the right field, or the right ring to fight this battle will be conservation, not us.
Yeah,
All right, very well.
thanks.
Thank
Okay.
you for coming up and giving you got it off your mind, you got it off your, you got that right. And thank you for coming.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Good luck, guys.
All right, anyone else want to speak against this matter?
I'd just like to reinforce what Scott said. This is my property. I live there. I worked my whole life for a piece of property like this. And I'm not gonna do anything stupid to upset the beauty of where I live.
Right.
So I do agree with what he said. I'll try to uphold what his opinion was conveyed here to do. And I don't think I'm gonna be anywhere near the property line with anything that we construct except for above in the air. So that's all I'd like to say.
Yeah, okay, very well.
We can,
Again, that's something with the conservation one I hear, not us. That has irrelevant to zoning. What is it, Jim?
no, I just want to make sure there was nobody on Zoom waving at us.
Okay,
What he's trying to tell you is, you don't come to zoning for a septic system, and you don't go to the Board of Health for a zoning issue, and you don't go to conservation for a building permit,
I totally understand that, but
Okay, we just.
that's a
want-
process. I know you want to,
I wanted to make sure he knows I understand his concern.
definitely.
Yeah, okay.
So if
Thank
he
you.
left, I might not have seen him, and that's all.
All right, very well. Okay, that being said, before we close this public hearing, you want to add anything, Mr. Broderick?
No, sir.
No, you good? Very well. Any wishes?
I'm,
Rich, any wishes?
okay, I'm willing
Not
to,
at this time.
I'm willing to motion that we close the, public portion of this hearing.
Okay, we have a motion to close public hearing by Mr. Akabachi. Do I have a second?
Second?
second by Troy. All in favor, say aye. Rich?
Aye.
Troy?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Myself, aye. It's closed. So now, on the variance, let's go first.
You want to put it all under one vote, or do you want to do it as two separate?
If we do two separate, we have to do special permit and a variance. Let's shoot for a variance for the whole thing, see what happens.
I'm good with
So-
that.
All right, in the variance on the north and west side and south side, for the deck and expanding the shed to encroach the north side setback and to encroach the back side setback. How the board this feels. Do I have a motion on that?
Yeah, I'll move in favor.
Jim move in favor of that matter for a variance. Do I have a second on that?
Second?
Okay, all in favor for that, say aye. Rich?
Aye.
Troy?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
And myself, aye, it carries. Just for the record, Patty's still doing the minutes, right? So Patty, for the record, just put that meets statutory requirement for MGL 48, Section 10. Thank you very much. You also, he knows the process.
Appreciate your
Thank
time,
you,
You're
gentlemen.
very welcome. Okay. That being done, paper back. That was a lot easier than I thought.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
on
if
some
it makes you
other,
happy, I'll do something to make it
No.
hard.
on the rules,
Yes.
Yeah, I seconded it.
Sonia, before you leave, please, I need you to help me something on my computer, I couldn't figure it out. On the rules and regulation for site plan, we need to set the public hearing.
And we had done that at the last hearing, I apologize if I may just add to that. Jim had set a date of the 25th.
You gotta sit here for a mic, I think he wants it on record. He does. So can you just sit on here? Okay, we need to set a date, all right. Okay, we need to set a date for the public hearing to discuss the rules and regulation for site plan reviews.
I recommend November 22nd.
It's closed.
Well, like you said, you want it to be hard.
Yeah, that.
Okay, how about December?
December 13. Is everybody okay on that?
I'm good with it. I'm good.
I'm good, okay. So let's vote on that.
December 13th, 23.
That's enough time, Sonia, right? To advertise?
So are we making any changes before or during?
Well, we'll set the public hearing, and we could come with our changes in the public hearing, and if somebody with the audience, with the public wanna, like, engage in the stuff, and we'll do it once,
Okay.
all right?
And these rules and regulations are pretty much the same as what's appears in the bylaws as either Article 15 or 14 or something like that.
It would be nice if we let Mr. Buckland, if he's possible, he can be here, Sonia, if you let him know, because he drafted those, so it'd be nice to explain to us. December 13. All right, so we have a motion by Jim to do the public hearing on December 13, 2023. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Sample. All in favor, say aye. Rich?
Aye.
Troy?
Aye.
Jim?
All right.
Nazi? Myself, aye. So it's on 13. Just give us some... Go ahead, I'm listening. I'm listening.
No, it's just Mr. Buckland designate. Just thinking out loud, that's all. Nothing important.
Okay, I want to mention something that's been going for a while, and I guess we come to the bottom of it. We've been using the zoning map 2017. That's been floating around for like 4 or 5 years.
It finally is evaporated.
And it makes a sense that 2017 supersede 2007. It came up to, we find out we're wrong.
Yeah, the 17 was never sent up to and approved by the attorney.
It was handed to us, it was on the board.
It was, no, it was
everywhere.
posted on the website.
It was on,
etc., but
right, so we just gotta,
somebody went through and ruthlessly eliminated all evidences of it on the website.
Well, I am sure something's gonna come before us.
Well,
That was done based on that map, so we'll have to deal with it when it comes. Because somebody filed for a permit or bought a piece of land based on that map, and now it's changed, so we'll see what happens when it comes. All right,
Yep, we were instructed to get rid of those maps, so.
Yeah.
I guess it's important for us as board members to realize that there were permits have been granted based on the belief that we were following the right map. And somebody's gonna come in front of us aggrieved and say, hey, I bought this, I depended on your decision, I depended on, and now I own a piece of land and I can't do what I want with it. We can't just sit here and say tough taffy,
we'll see what happens when it comes.
soften the taffy.
Okay, that being said, nice, easy evening.
Make a
Yes?
motion to close.
Huh?
We need a second hearing for, you wanna talk about November 22nd? You want that on the record?
Okay, all right. Okay,
We're not gonna have a second, we're just not gonna have a November 22nd meeting.
in observance for the Thanksgiving, apparently we can't have a hearing.
We're making an alternate date for,
No, we're just canceling the hearing.
Cancel it.
Unless you guys,
fine with me.
unless, I mean, we can't do on the 15th, that's too early. If we, 8, we can't, if you guys,
You're fine with just one in November, that's fine.
on the 8th is fine, if you, I think we're fine, it's not too busy, probably that day.
Here we go, don't jinx it.
So we'll just cancel it, we'll deal with it on the 13th.
Well, that's some team, so, for as long as you and I have been on the board, there's been one meeting in November and one meeting in December.
That's true.
We've always survived it.
We'll make it happen.
We just come in January.
You should, you have to have belief in us, Sonia. We have to have belief that we move things along. So don't panic. All right, so, so on the 22nd, let's make a vote, there will be no hearing. Can we get a motion?
So
So,
moved.
go ahead, I'll second.
We have a motion by Rich that no hearing will be held, public hearing will be held for zoning board of appeals on November 22nd, 2023. Do I have a second on that?
I second it.
Second by Jim, all in favor say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
And myself, aye, so no hearing on the 22nd. That being said, can we get a motion to adjourn? Do I have a second on that? Troy? Seconded by Troy, all in favor say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Jim?
Yeah.
Rich?
Aye.
And myself, aye, we adjourn. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Commissioner, for coming. Thank you, John. Thank you, Noah.